Are you planning to travel to Europe from 2025 onwards? Then this video is for you. Why? Because today we'll talk about the European Entry-Exit System, or EES. The EES is a new border control procedure that, starting from October 2025, will revolutionize the modalities in which people access the European Union. Ciao a tutti and welcome back to the Italianforawhile channel, your go-to destination for all things Italy. If you haven't done it yet, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more tips and tricks on how to make the most out of your learning experience in Italy. And now, let's go back to the reason why we're here today, to get into the detail into this new high-tech system, the EES, to understand how it will work, to whom it may apply, and how to best prepare for this. This new entry-exit system, indeed, will mark a major shift on how travelers from non-EU countries are identified, registered and monitored when accessing the Schengen area. The primary purpose of this new system will be that of replacing the passport manual stamping method. Indeed, it will automatize and digitize border checks using biometric data and advanced tracking. This urge in the European Union to come up with a more innovative and efficient way to track people accessing and leaving the Schengen area came from mainly two factors. First of all, growing international mobility. And second, the evolving security challenges. The ultimate goals of this new system introduction will indeed be mainly three. First of all, improve security across all the Schengen area. Second, fight illegal overstays. And third, to eventually enhance the efficiency of travel across Europe. The entry-exit system will hence be at the heart of this modernization process, which will make the travel process safer and smoother for millions of people every year. So, whether you are a frequent business traveler, you're planning a long European vacation, or you simply want to go to Europe to visit some family, understanding how this process works and how it will affect you, it's more important than ever. So, let's get started, shall we? And first of all, let's go see into more details what this entry-exit system actually is. The EES is a new automated IT system. It will register non-EU travelers every time that they cross the external borders of the Schengen area for a short stay, that is, up to 90 days within a 180-day period. This system will record key travelers' data, such as the date of each entry and exit, the location, and biometric data, such as fingerprints or facial images. So basically, this method will be a more efficient and consistent alternative to manually stamping all the passports, allowing to safely track the movements of travelers across all Europe, and ensuring that non-European travelers follow the rules that apply to short-term stays in Europe. Now that we have a better understanding of what this change in system means, let's see more in detail what are the benefits that this system will bring, both for travelers and European authorities. First of all, faster border crossing. With biometric data already stored in the system, repeat travelers will be able to pass through border checks more quickly, especially in airports where automated gates or self-service kiosks are available. Second, better tracking of travel durations. The system calculates your time spent in the Schengen area automatically, helping both you and border officers stay on top of the 90-day rule. Biometric data like fingerprints and facial images will help prevent identity fraud, unauthorized entries, and the use of fake travel documents. Fourth, improved detection of overstays. Since each entry and exit is recorded electronically, it will be much easier for authorities to identify travelers who have stayed beyond their allowed time. Fifth, more efficient migration management. With accurate data on who's coming and going, the European Union can better manage migration flows and focus resources where they need it most. And now, we have already briefly mentioned, but let's see more in details what kind of data will this new system collect. This system will create a very detailed digital record of each traveler that is from non-EU and is crossing the Schengen area, such as your main ID details, basic information from your passport or travel document, like your full name, birthday, nationality, and passport number. Your travel movements. They log exactly when and where you entered and left the Schengen area, which will help them keep track of how long you've stayed. The first time you entered the Schengen area, with the entry-exit system, system, authorities will take a picture of your face and your fingerprints. They will store these securely to confirm it's you on future trips. The good news here, if your fingerprints are already in the visa information system, they won't need to take them again. The system will also collect a fourth piece of information. If you are denied entry, if you ever get turned away at the border, the system will record that incident and the reason why. Visa issues, overstaying, etc. And will keep that in count for your future entries. Of course, it is very important to specify that all these data collected are securely stored. They are indeed handled very carefully, following all the EU data protection rules. This means that only authorized people, like border control, visa and immigration staff, can have access to this kind of information. So the borders will be safer and the process will be faster, but all of this is always going to be while keeping your data safe. Now that we have a more general understanding of what the entry-exit system is and what data it collects, let's see another very important aspect. Who will apply to and who won't? Of course, we've already mentioned that the EES will apply to non-European travelers accessing the Schengen area for short stays. But it is also important to specify that this includes both travelers that will need a visa and travelers that will not. So whether you're coming to Europe for a business trip, to study, to visit your family, or just for touristy reasons, this system will likely apply to you. Here's a breakdown of who's falling under the system. Visa-exempt travelers, citizens of countries like the United States, United Kingdom, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and many others can enter the Schengen area without a visa for short stays. However, they will still be subject to the entry-exit system checks, meaning that their entries, exits, and biometric data will be recorded. And second, short stay visa holders. Travelers from countries that require a Schengen short stay visa, such as India, China, or South Africa, will also be registered in the entry-exit system. Also, it is very important to notice another aspect. The system will be in effect across 25 European countries, excluding Ireland and Cyprus, and 4 non-EU Schengen countries, Iceland, Liechtenstein, Norway, and Switzerland. So, if you plan to visit any of these 29 countries for a short stay, and you're not a European Union member or a European Economic Area member, or a Swiss citizen, the entry-exit system will apply to you. Now, instead, let's see who is exempted from this system. Indeed, there are several exemptions. The European entry-exit system will not apply to 6 categories. If you fall into one of these categories, the EES system will not apply to you and likely your passport will still be stamped manually. Let's see them together. First of all, citizens of the European Union, the European Economic Area, and Switzerland. National of EU member states, as well as Iceland, Liechtenstein, Norway, and Switzerland, are completely exempt. They can enter and exit the Schengen countries as usual. Second, immediate family of European citizens. If you are a non-European national but you hold a valid residence card as the family member of a European citizen, you are exempt from the entry-exit system registration as long as you're traveling with or joining the European family member. 3. Holders of residence permits or long-stay visas. If you live legally in a Schengen country and hold a residence permit or national long-stay visa, then the entry-exit system will not apply to your movements. Fourth, privileged travelers. Certain individuals benefit from diplomatic or special border privileges, including diplomats, heads of states, and cross-border workers under special agreements. They will generally be exempt from the EES checks. Fifth, children under 12 years old. While they are subject to the entry-exit system registration, they are not required to give fingerprints. However, a facial image will still be taken. And last, 6. Others with specific permits or exemptions. This includes holders of local border traffic permits, crew members of international passengers or freight trains, travelers with valid facilitated transit documents, and individuals participating in certain education, research, or training programs. So as you can see, the list of people that could be exempted from the entry-exit system is pretty long. If you're unsure whether you would be exempted or not, it's always nice to double check with the consulate or with the authorities of the country that you want to go visit in Europe. So now that we have more information on what this system is and to whom it applies, let's see more in detail, step by step, how the entry-exit system regulations will work. Let's see what will happen the first time that you will enter the Schengen area after October 2025, so from when the entry-exit system will be in place. First of all, document scanning. Upon arrival at the border, the first step is scanning your travel document. This scan will collect essential personal details, such as your full name, date of birth, and the document's detail. So the passport number, the issuing country, etc. Second, biometric data collection. Biometric data, such as fingerprints and facial image, will be collected. The collection of this data will help ensure accurate identification and prevent fraud, as well as reducing the risk of travelers overstaying in their allowed time in the Schengen area. And third, data storage. All the data will be securely stored in the EES database for a period of 3 years. It will be used to track the entries and exits across the Schengen area during this 3 years period, replacing the manual passport stamp. Then, after the first access in the Schengen area, future trips will be much faster and easier. Indeed, subsequent entries within a 3 years period time will allow for, first of all, biometric identification. Indeed, for future entries within a 3-year period, your biometric data will be compared against the stored records in the entry-exit system database, speeding up the process and reducing waiting times at the borders. Second, it will be implemented self-service kiosks. In many places, self-service kiosks or automated border control gates will be available for repeat travelers. This system allows you to verify your identity without waiting for manual checks, providing a more convenient and quicker process. However, border control officers may still be involved to verify certain cases when necessary. Also, a third aspect to take into consideration is the following: passport expirations. Indeed, if your passport expires during a 3-year period while you're traveling within the Schengen area, you will need to provide your biometric data again when you enter the Schengen area with your new passport. This ensures that your data remains up to date in the system, helping avoid any confusion or delay. Of course, it is important to specify that since the EES system will rely on the collection primarily of biometric data, if you refuse to be taken a picture or to give your fingerprints, you won't be granted access to the Schengen area. Guys, we're almost at the end of this very interesting journey. But before we go to the final part, I really want to know your opinion on this. You think that this new entry-exit system will really speed up the process, or you think that it's the contrary, that we're gonna waste more time and that some problems may arise? I'm curious to know. Let me know, I read your comments. Let me know, I will read your comments. And now let's move to the last aspect that I wanted to cover with you today. How to actually prepare, since October 2025, it's literally around the corner. Of course, as we said, this system will be implemented to increase not only safety, but also to speed up the process of border controls. But of course, it's going to be something new, and so at the beginning especially, there may be some queues and some problem may arise. So it's always best to be very much prepared to try to decrease the chances of things getting longer. So here for you, we have 3 key steps to help you get ready. First of all, check your passport. Make sure that your passport is valid for the entire duration of your stay in the Schengen area. Ideally, it should be biometric, also known as an e-passport, since they will make the entry-exit system process faster and more straightforward, especially when using automated systems or kiosks. Second, try to always stay informed and up to date. Keep an eye on official European announcements or consult your local embassy or consulate for the latest information regarding the EES rollout. Requirements and procedures may vary slightly depending on your nationality or the country you're entering from. So, staying informed is essential, particularly during the early months of implementation. And lastly, allow extra time at borders. During the initial rollout of the EES, border checks may take longer than usual, particularly for first-time travelers whose biometric data needs to be collected. So, it's a good idea to allow extra time at the border, especially if you're catching a connecting flight or have time-sensitive plans upon arrival. And with that, that's really all for today, guys. I really hope that I've given you a nice and clear view of what this new entry-exit system will be and what it will imply for travelers coming to Europe, and especially of what it will imply for non-European travelers coming to Europe. You still have some time before October 25 when these will be finally implemented. So make sure to take this time to go through all the information that we covered today and be super prepared. The earlier you adapt, the smoother and fastest the process will be. As always, if you have any question, make sure to let us know. I will read all the comments and get back to you as soon as possible. And if you like this content, make sure to like it, comment it, or just share it with a friend. Until next time, ciao!